Aubetz was supposed to be a fortress, but StX and Jalen Patterson dropping a bomb on the high school football landscape. 4 touchdowns in the first half. It is 44-3. St. Xavier over Pickerington Central in the Division I state championship game. Hi, everyone. I'm Neil Sika. It is championship game day halftime with my boys Brett Hiltbrand and Matt DeRazio. I think our jaws dropped with anything that happened in that first quarter, and it starts with the opening series, but Brett Jalen Patterson making some history in his own right with 4 touchdowns in the first quarter alone. Yeah, tying the OHSAA record. I think stunned is probably the word that we have right now. You may want to guard the guy. Just dominant on offense and really just a special first half. You heard Steve Speck tell Ashley Collins there going into the halftime locker room, they've been waiting all year for everything to click. Well, they did it for this first half. Mackay over 200 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Matt, the offense is one thing, but the defense really has set the tone the last 3 weeks for StX to get him to this point, and it starts with this opening series with this punt where they forced Pick Central into turning it over on downs.
Yeah, offense looked perfect, but you add in defense and special teams. You had a block punt, you've got a safety, you've got a punt return for a touchdown, you've got a fumble recovery, and you've got 4 sacks, and you've got an offense from Pickerington Central that has no idea what's going on. They're completely flustered, and to me, the game plan was put together. The execution has been perfection when it comes to the Bombers.
Grant Lyons has 2.5 sacks. Matt Devine has 5 tackles. Elsewhere, state semifinals, a robust night of football. Of course, with the marquee game being at Fortress Aubetz in Columbus. In Division II, we start with LaSalle and Massillon. Rematch from last year's title game won by LaSalle 34-17. Zach Branham, 75 yards, taken down at the 3. Lancers would score 3 plays later. Massillon responding. They're in the third quarter now. It is 7-7 between the Tigers and the Lancers. That's another GCL South team. They'll play the winner of Hoban and Avon. Hoban, Victor Dawson looks boss. 11 yards for the touchdown. They added another. That was Fox, the nephew of Dustin Fox, to go up 14-0. They lead Avon. It's usually Avon's worst nightmare, running into Hoban 3 of the last 4 years. In Division III, Chardon looking for their first state championship appearance since 2003, but we start with Alter and DeSales. Down the Southwest, Purple Pride, Matt is smiling.
Stallion Pride.
Jordan Johnson, not Quintel Quinn, goes in for the 5-yard touchdown. DeSales just scored. They're up 16-7.
Big D, little E.
In the third quarter, they'll play the winner of Chardon and Tiffin Columbian. First state semifinal appearance for the Tornadoes. But they are getting blown away in Brunswick in the first half. James Pettyjohn has 3 touchdowns. It's 33-7 right now with Chardon in front of Tiffin Columbian. Now a look at your Spectrum News 1 news and weather with Curtis Jackson.
Thanks, Neil. We'll get you back to the football action in just a moment. But first, our top story this evening. Another day hitting record numbers. The Ohio Department of Health reporting more than 8,000 new coronavirus cases. This is the highest number of cases in one day. And we're also seeing a higher number of hospitalizations with 298 newly admitted patients. As of right now, nearly 3,000 people have been hospitalized in the state with the virus. 735 are in the ICU. 347 of them are on ventilators. Deaths rose by 42, bringing the total number to 5,700. The state has now completed more than 5 million tests across the state, and 68 of our 88 counties are now labeled red. President Trump has won the state of North Carolina. The Associated Press called the state for the Republican nominee. It earns President Trump 15 additional electoral votes. His total now stands at 232. That is to 290 for President-elect Joe Biden, a total of 270 needed to win the presidency. Just one state remains to be called, Georgia, and it's a tight one. Biden leads the president by 0.3 percentage points. However, he is projected to win that state. A hand recount is underway. Nice sunny day out there Friday. For a look at our weekend forecast, here's meteorologist Andrew Kozak.
Hey there, I'm meteorologist Andrew Kozak with a quick look at your forecast during a little football on this Friday night. Let's get right into it. I want to give you an update on where we ended up on Friday. Upper 50s in Columbus, Upper 50s in Cincinnati to near 60 and around 53 in Cleveland. Now as we get into your Saturday, temperatures drop pretty quickly down into the 30s and eventually 20s by Saturday morning. Then by Saturday night, we're also tracking some rain coming in into your Sunday. Not only that, but we're going to see some really gusty winds this weekend. Saturday night into Sunday morning as we bring in some of that rain, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. Not out of the question. It's going to be a blustery Sunday afternoon. So early morning temperatures under mainly clear to partly cloudy skies will be in the mid to upper 20s. Highs on Saturday, they're going to be under mostly sunny skies to start, mostly cloudy to finish, and they'll be in the upper 40s and low to middle 50s to the south. I'm meteorologist Andrew Kozak. Keep it here after the game, your 7-day forecast and much more with your weather on the ones.
We'll get you back to the game for the start of the third quarter in just a few minutes. And coming up after the game, the latest on the legislative response to Governor DeWine's one-week ultimatum for bars and restaurants. But first, let's go back to Neil and our OHSAA Championship game day coverage.
Thanks very much, Curtis. Back on September the 8th, Doug Ute was named the new executive director of the Ohio High School Athletics Association. And the new man in charge speaks to our Ashley Collins now at Fortress Obetz.
All right, thanks, guys. Now the OHSAA Executive Director, Doug Ute, joining me now. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Well, thank you, Ashley, for having me on, and thanks to Spectrum for the support of high school athletics in Ohio.
We're so happy we can be here, obviously, with everything that's gone on and with you in the new role and talking about that and taking over during such trying times like these.
Well, I stepped out of the role of a school superintendent, which I would tell you is probably a lot more difficult than what we're doing here, but it's trying times for everybody, and we're trying to work with our superintendents, principals, athletic directors, and our communities across Ohio to keep our kids playing, keep them competing. And, you know, you look at when we started to fall, if you could tell me we would be here right now, we would be very happy to say that's a great spot to be in with this weekend and then next weekend completing our state tournaments. And we've had great tournaments and very few schools from a population or percentage standpoint of canceling because of the virus. And we're proud to say that to our knowledge, no sporting event in Ohio in high school has spread the virus. And so that's a big key, I think, to bring up. So we're very happy where we're at right now.
Yeah, it is a great testament to what you all have been able to do in the schools as well. We know how grateful that they are to be able to be here, and especially for the seniors, when you think about that could have been in jeopardy all season long, and now that you get to see them out here and the big smiles on their faces.
Yeah, and you know, the role I was in before this, I was at a school in Newark, great school, great girls basketball program, and qualified for the state, won the regional title on Friday night. Didn't get a chance to compete for that state title the next weekend, so I saw the impact on students there, and then of course the spring sports that were canceled. So, you know, being firsthand around a school that witnessed those things, and not just from a competitive standpoint with kids, we know it's so important to their mental health and their mental well-being, and so this fall's been great for schools and been great for high school athletics in the state.
Talking a little bit more about your role, but your background as well that you've mentioned and what you've had before and how it's helped you really to move into this role with the OHSAA.
Yeah, I think first and foremost I would bring up that, you know, I'm a product of a wonderful school district, Clear Fork Schools in Richland County, that as an athlete there, being around so many positive people and influenced me. So I've seen that side of it, you know, personally. And then being able to go to Ohio school and participate in basketball at Ashland College. And then from there, teaching and coaching, coaching and athletic director, high school principal, and the last 20 years as superintendent. And so, you know, I consider myself still a coach to this day, even though I spent so many years in administration. So I understand what our folks are going through out in the schools.
Well, we appreciate all that you do, and we really appreciate your time here tonight with us, Doug.
Well, again, we appreciate your support. Spectrum, we appreciate our relationship with Spectrum and all they do for high school sports and you and your crew. So thank you, Ashley.
Thank you very much. Guys, back over to you.
Good stuff, Ashley. Looking forward to getting to know Doug Ute through the years. Long Blue Line has made it a long blue night. Second half coming up next.
Every morning, the people of Ohio have the opportunity to wake up and start fresh. We want to be a different kind of news channel, putting storytelling and community first.
Well, it's really humbling to be invited to our neighbors' homes and help them plan their day.
Welcome to Your Morning News. I'm Sophia Constantine.
We saw a gorgeous sunrise out there this morning.
Let's begin your day with your weather on the ones.
Your Morning News, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1.
So this is Ziva, and she goes everywhere with me. Like her, I have this innate sense of curiosity. I really like meeting new people. I love to explore, and right now I'm trying to travel to every national park across the country. Every morning, that same curiosity is what drives me as a journalist.
News 1, I'm Sophia Constantine.
It really fuels the type of stories that we do. It defines us as Ohioans, and it's why I'm so excited to call this place home.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. We know changes are happening. We know there's more to be done. Now, as our community rebuilds, we'll continue to support each other, caring for neighbors and family today so we can all be together tomorrow. We know none of this has been easy. Thank you, Ohio. We're proud to tell your stories every day. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
The OHSAA State Football Championships on Spectrum News 1 are presented by the new Spectrum News app, informing, empowering, and connecting you to your community. Download in the App Store or Google Play. By Chocolate Milk. Ohio students are built by Chocolate Milk. And by Mercy Health, the official healthcare provider of the OHSAA.
Welcome back, and let's take a look at the first half highlights as St. Xavier dominated that first half of play, and it was Brogan Mackay and Jalen Patterson hooking up 4 different times for touchdowns. What a first half for Mackay and Patterson.
Yeah, really impressive work. Jalen Patterson always found a way to get open, and Mackay throws such a catchable ball.
Mackay gets in for the 5th touchdown of that first half. And then take a look. Albanese pressures the punt. Gabe Dubois fields it, and he takes off, returns a punt for a touchdown. And the defense just dominated on the other side of the ball for St. Xavier. Lions with the sack for a safety, and they just kept coming. They shut down the run. They shut down the pass. Both sides of the ball, very good for St. Xavier.
What a half by Lions. He was all over the football field, and the numbers reflect this. There's the fumble. There was really nowhere for Garner Wallace. There's a fumble created again by Brainswill. Look, -5 rushing yards. That tells you the story right there. 11 yards for Pick Central, -5 for St. X, but it doesn't matter when you throw for almost 300 in the half.
A few minutes ago, our Ashley Collins talked with Jay Sherritt.